Hello. Now that you have access to our scheduling portal, we're going to go through how to schedule an appointment. We'll try to make this quick. As you can see, you have different tabs here, one being the dashboard, and the overview you can see all the appointments listed that have been scheduled or are new scheduled. On logs, you will see the on-demand calls listed. You can also see scheduled and in-person listed appointments. Under appointments is where you're going to go ahead and be able to see the appointments that are scheduled. And you can see this in a daily or a weekly or monthly format. You can also see it in a calendar view or a tabular view. We're going to go ahead and create a new appointment. Here, you're going to have an appointment form, which is similar to a Google form. You're going to go ahead and fill this out. You're going to put the requester's name, the contact, the healthcare provider, the type of communication. Do you need an on-site interpreter or do you need a third party? Third party would include a virtual and over the phone. We're going to do third party for this example. So let's do on-site actually. So here under visit type, these are questions that OHP requires that we report on. So this is why we ask these questions. The most common is office outpatient. Type of care, we're going to select physical. The language, we're going to select Spanish. For the subject, let's do a well child check as a subject. If there's a description, we're going to add it here. This is where we can add any additional information and description that is useful for the interpreter. If this was a virtual, this is where we would add the link. Under consumer, we're going to go ahead and add the consumer information. So what does consumer? That can be patient information. We also have the option to have a preference of gender. That could be female preferred or male preferred or only. Here, save to consumer list. Your organization starts creating a consumer list. So this means that the profiles of the patient start saving on your profile, so you don't have to type it in every time. If you put in the MRN, next time you can find it by the MRN by clicking here, search, and here you can see that we have a couple made up patients. So these are all made up, so no PHI is being disclosed here. But this is a great example. Let's go ahead and create a made up name. And then a date of birth. And so here we're going to add the gender. And here you can add the MRN. I have some made up as well. Consumer ID. So this is where the OHP ID number would go. This is going to save under profile. So make sure you have covered all that information that we need in order to bill OHP. After you have filled that out, you can save this consumer information to your list. There are a couple marks that you do have to hit in order for us to be able to bill OHP. So the question here, are we going to bill OHP? Yes. And if it's a no, you would select no. Health plan name. So here it would be Pacific Source. We're going to select Central. If it wasn't an OHP recipient, we would select not applicable. In this case, because we are located in Central Oregon, we're going to select Pacific Source Central. Third party, this is important that we do select Pacific Source Community Solutions, which is OHP. So if we hit these marks, OHP ID number, the name and date of birth of the patient, and all these marks, we're able to bill OHP. Location. So just like you can save profiles or consumers, you can also save locations. So you can select this once you save it. Here I have a couple examples. I'm going to do Wall Street, 901 Wall Street. Now we're going to select the date. We're going to go ahead and select the 22nd of August. So the appointment's at 1 p.m. I'm going to select 12:45 for check-in time for the interpreter because I want them to show up at check-in time so they can help the patient fill out paperwork. Make sure that it does reflect the time you would like to have the interpreter for the visit. In this case, it's an hour-long visit, so I'm going to schedule it for 1 hour and that 15-minute check-in window. Notes for PM, it is for a project manager, in other words, to our scheduler. Our interpreter doesn't have access to this notes, so make sure that you put in information that you don't want the interpreter to see, if that was the case. Now that we have filled everything out, we're going to hit save. So, this is already made, so I'm going to remove it just for the practice. So now we have created a new appointment. We're able to see the new appointment. We can see the information. We can just expand it to see more. We can see the subject, the date and time. We can edit if we would like to, update some information. In this case, I'm not going to add anything. We can add notes. We can cancel and we can clone. That way you don't have to do a couple appointments or one by one. You can just clone it and change the date and time. There's also an option to do recurrent in the scheduling form. So that is an option as well. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. Once it's scheduled, it's showing blue as new. So what's next? What is the next step for this? So now what we're going to be doing is going to broadcast it to our interpreters, and that's going to turn our appointment yellow. So that means it's going out to interpreters. Interpreters are checking their schedule. They might be an appointment, so it might take a couple hours, maybe days, maybe weeks. It really depends how far out it is. Once it has been broadcasted, the interpreter can accept this appointment. So once they accept it, they check their schedules. This is going to turn green and show as scheduled. Now I have access to see who that interpreter is. In this case, it's Elizabeth, and we're able to see this appointment. We can see the activities when this was scheduled, when it was assigned to Elizabeth. We can add notes or any type of information. We can also see it on the schedule here as scheduled. And we can see this in a tabular view or in a calendar view. So once it's scheduled, if we needed to cancel, we would go ahead and cancel this appointment. So I'm going to click on it and click open. And here I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. And I will confirm, yes, I want to cancel this. And then I would select the reason. I will select not necessary. And then submit. Now this appointment has been canceled. And you can see everything is color coordinated. So this appointment will change to more of a dark burnt orange once it has been canceled. So that's how you schedule an appointment. If you forgot to put in the patient's name or the OHP ID number, you can go to configuration under consumers, and here you'll see all the profiles of the consumers, and you can go in and edit this information. So feel free to update this information, and going forward, that profile is going to live with that additional information you added. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our email is scheduling@english2spanish.com, or you can give us a call. You can visit our website, and there you can find all our emails and contact information. Have a great day.